Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest from the Young Men's Initiative, Jordan Stockdale. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me here.
Yes, sir. Where's Jordan from? He's the deputy executive director of the Close Rikers Initiative.
So that was my last job. I'm the executive director of the Young Men's Initiative now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what is the Young Men's Initiative for people that don't know?
Yeah, so the Young Men's Initiative is the office of the mayor that's explicitly focusing on reducing racial disparities. So we have programs across education, criminal justice reform, and employment. And our most popular program is New York City Men Teach, which is the most comprehensive program in the nation to hire men of color to be in the classroom. And Charlamagne actually spoke at our launch.
That's right.
5 years ago. And since then, it's been responsible for hiring 1,000 men of color in our classrooms, helping our young people every day.
That's great.
You know, Jordan, the reason I love, New York Men Teach is simply because I understand the importance of mentorship. Could you tell people what's the importance of mentorship?
Yeah, you got to be able to see yourself in success to be successful, right? So when Men Teach brings in successful men of color in the classroom, younger kids, younger brothers in particular, can see themselves in success, right? So I just had a quick story on that. My mom was the only one in her family, her large family, to go to college. And she did that because a teacher pulled her aside, said, "Your college material, here's some scholarship opportunities," and changed her life, right? And that one experience changed her life, changed my life, and literally is going to change generations to come, right? So that's the power of one teacher and one mentor.
Now let's break down the mentoring program, because I see the mentoring program is very, very big, and I know we all here are big on mentoring. So break that down for a little bit for us.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of different mentoring programs. We just announced Mentors Matter, which has 3 different components, but it's going to provide mentoring to thousands of young people in our public schools this year. The first part of that is a partnership with 100 Black men to tutor hundreds of Black and brown young people in our schools this year. The second part is we're expanding CUNY Tutor Corps, which is a program that pays CUNY students to tutor a slightly younger version of themselves in public schools and lets them show the game, like, this is how I got to college, this is how I'm successful. And then the third component is we gave out allocated $500,000 to different community-based organizations on the ground that are providing mentoring and tutoring to young people all across the city.
How is this working now during COVID with restrictions that are happening and also people having access to technology?
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff is online, unfortunately, but that's how it is right now. A lot of the programming, the community-based organizations had to shift their focus to online programming. Same with 100 Black men with their Junior 100 program. It's been all virtual so far.
I wonder how that's going to impact, young men, because it is something about having that mentor who's literally got their arm around you. You know what I mean? Who physically is there to look you in your eye and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I wonder how that's going to impact them, this online mentorship.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, the reality is, these kids have been online for school for months, right? And if you struggle learning online, having a mentor, even if it's online, is still better than nothing, right? And the vaccine's coming out, right? So people are getting vaccinated. So hopefully soon we can actually have, real mentorship in person.
Now, I see you've also partnered with the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board, right? And I've talked about that before because I've actually gone to them when I've had issues with the police officer. You remember that, Envy, that police officer that was like harassing me? And I didn't know what I could do about it. And so I actually looked online. I filed a report with the Civilian Complaint Review Board. I had to go in before the board and do a mediation with the police officer, but I just didn't feel like I could just let it go like that. And I wanted to make sure that this was something that would be visible, on his record. So can you explain what that is in the process?
Yeah, so the CCRB, or the Civilian Complaint Review Board, is the public oversight body of the NYPD, overseeing from the public standpoint, the checks and balance system for the NYPD. And what they do is they investigate allegations of misconduct from the NYPD, and then they recommend disciplinary action. So this is on the administrative side. On the criminal side, that's the DAs. But on the administrative side, they can recommend loss of pay, loss of vacation time, and termination. And so that's what the CCRB does. And it's a very important institution, started under Dinkins administration, the first Black mayor, no coincidence there. And we are launching its first ever education campaign right now. So the more young people and people all across New York know about the CCRB, know when and how to contact them, because it's really important to, not let police misconduct slide and to make sure that we have data on this. So that's what the CCRB does.
Yeah, I encourage anybody, if you have an issue, to take the time out to go fill out that form, actually show up to the mediation, because that does show up on their record. And I felt like, are they going to be on this police officer's side? But the woman definitely told him that he was wrong, because he was even being aggressive toward me during mediation.
Yeah, CCRB doesn't play. I mean, they're there for a reason. And, what's powerful about them is the more and more notoriety get, the more powerful they'll become, right? And so the more people that actually fill out a form, if they see police misconduct or if they experience it, the more data that's available for the public. Because right now, the data is on public record, right? So if a police officer has a bunch of allegations of misconduct or that are substantiated, that's on the police record, and that could impact, their future career, their ability to have more influence over the NYPD. So again, it's really important to put, to fill out that form if you experience that.
Now, Charlamagne mentioned earlier about the Rikers initiative. Whatever happened with that when you were working there? Did we get closer to closing? Because obviously it's still open.
Yeah, we did. So throughout that initiative, we reduced the number of beds that are on Rikers. We reduced the number of beds that are throughout the city. And so I'm talking about the actual jail beds. So our ability to incarcerate individuals has significantly decreased. Mm-hmm. Number two, we passed a bill with the city council that will ban incarceration on Rikers Island after 2026. And so the reason it's that timeline is because there would be construction of new facilities in New York that would be a fourth of the size of Rikers Island in terms of the overall beds, but would be new jails that actually treat people that are incarcerated better, or designed to treat people better. And so that's part of that initiative. Gotcha. It's a controversial initiative, and people have different feelings about it, but I think it's important that we close Rikers and that we significantly reduce our jail capacity, and that's what that initiative does.
Jordan, you're a very successful person, highly educated. You went to Hunter College and you got a master's degree in public affairs from Princeton, right? Yeah. Who was your mentors? Who got you on that path?
Man, I have a bunch of mentors. I have my cousin growing up, who lived with us for a period of time and really was definitely a mentor for me. He went on to become a professor. I've had amazing, people in my career that have been helpful. Vinny Schiraldi, Ben Jealous, who's a former professor of mine, who was, the former head of NAACP. So yeah, definitely had some, really helpful mentors throughout my career.
Working for the mayor's office now, there's a whole lot of people who are running for mayor of New York City. Do you have anybody that you prefer at this point?
I can't talk about that in my professional capacity, but I would love to hear y'all's opinions.
I don't know. I'm leaning toward Isaac Wright. I'm gonna tell you, I like two people. I like Isaac Wright Jr., but I could just be biased because he's from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. And I like Andrew Yang a lot.
I like Eric Adams.
Oh, I like Eric. Oh man, my man Eric. I didn't even know Eric was running.
That is my Brooklyn Borough president. He's been at the very beginning talking about running for mayor, and he is officially running for mayor for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know he announced. Yeah, Eric is my guy. See, that's tough.
Jordan, you're just gonna be quiet?
Was that up here?
Oh, you can't. you can't weigh in at all, huh?
He froze.
Yeah, man, I can't. No, I can't talk about that. Not in my professional capacity.
Got you. Well, listen. Let me ask you a question about mentorship again. Do you think a mentorship is a relationship that can grow organically, or do you believe anybody has the power to mentor somebody?
Yeah, that's a hard one. So here's what I'll say first. There's really good data that Black students who have a Black teacher in elementary school are more likely to graduate from high school. Mm-hmm. So, and if they're actually from a poor background and have a Black teacher in elementary school, they're even more likely to graduate. So there's a real profound impact of having someone of your own race mentor you. Now that doesn't always have to happen, but at the Young Men's Initiative, we like to focus on programs that explicitly hire people of color to tutor people of color. Now that doesn't always has to be the case, but I think that's a profound thing to think about as we think about mentoring programs.
What significant changes do you see in kids when they do have black male teachers or black mentors? Like what changes do you see in them?
Yeah, so there's changes in how you view yourself, your knowledge of self, which is powerful, right? So let me just talk about another program too. We partner with Eagle Academy to take their model, which has mentoring within their school, and then to teach other schools how to be like Eagle Academy, right? And so they teach knowledge of self. They teach Black history in a way, people of color history in a way that allows people to feel their own identity, to see themselves throughout history in leadership, in success, right? So that creates a feeling of confidence. But it also, they have like mentoring built into it, so you see yourself in success. And so I think it's actually kind of simple. It's one, knowing your history, knowing yourself, and seeing yourself in success. And that's what mentoring does.
All right.
Is there any research that shows the difference in like the outcome of young men with male leadership versus young boys without male figures in their lives?
Yeah, there's a ton of research on that. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the data point I just brought up about Black teachers, I can give that to you, but for Black kids that have a Black teacher from K through third grade are 19% more likely to graduate from high school. If they're from a poor background, they're 29% more likely to graduate. And that's just one Black teacher sometime between kindergarten and third grade.
Wow. So how can young men sign up for the program?
All right, so there's a few different ways. If you're interested in our partnership with 100 Black men, either to become a mentor or a mentee, you can email us at ymi@cityhall.nyc.gov, or you can also reach out to 100 Black men.
All right.
So yeah.
And how can people volunteer to be mentors?
The same way. Reach out to us, ymi@cityhall.nyc.gov, and you can volunteer to become a mentor with 100 Black men through that program. If you're a school and you're interested in having tutors through CUNY Tutor Corps, you can also email us, and we'll work out that partnership as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Jordan. We appreciate you for checking in, and good luck, and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you, brother.
So much. Appreciate y'all.
All right, brother.